Sharpen your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
All right. Here we are, guys. Another week, another day, another dollar. I'm Hessey. This is Vinny, and we're here. Let's hit this off and just see. We got some. We're always getting comments and stuff now, and I feel like not that we've picked up, but like now people are generally like, "Hey, when's the next?" Are you I don't want to be late because I feel like then people are like, "Hey, what's going on? Why didn't that one come out?" Or I had somebody comment today. It was like, I try to listen to it on Spotify, but YouTube comes out quicker. So she'll be like,
comes out like 10 minutes quicker, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she's impatient.
All right.
She's just ready to go.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can.
I don't know. It's technology. We're not the best at it. I mean, we just bombed so we had a guest on. We brought Braxton Davis on. Shot a great cast, and then it was all dicked up.
It's his internet.
So
I mean,
that's super cool. Yeah, ready to go. He's probably called the phone company, CC.com, who he works for. But yeah, so we got to redo that one, which I'm pretty excited about, and he's down.
Is he? Just not
to
today.
redo it again. Yeah, he just didn't have time today. But yeah, so how'd your week go, bro?
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it in Braxton's episode, but it took me a couple days to recover. We had his little bachelor party, and then I just went to work and just kept going to work, and yeah, it took me a few days to kind of get normal again on food, and I was just trying to drink a lot of water and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just normal work week, and raining every afternoon. I think they call it like monsoon season or whatever, because like every day at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it just starts pouring rain. And Bicknell had Senator Orton from Utah over in Bicknell because they were having so many floods. I mean, it was washing out roads. It's been washing out, like people's houses have been flooding. So Senator came down and they had a little meeting there in the little town of Bicknell and to evaluate what they're gonna do for flood control, I assume. I don't know. I delivered to the city office in Bicknell, which is roughly 10 by 10 shack, but there's some United States Safety. Oh gosh, I can't even remember what it was called now. Shoot, I should have wrote it down. But yeah, there's some official cops there. When I went to deliver, and I asked the lady inside, I was like, "What's going on with the official guys outside?" She's like, "Oh, we had Senator Orton here," and I was like, "Holy cow, that's." It's pretty big for Bicknell. I mean, their population is like 600, So to have a senator from Utah go there, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's about my week. Hanging rain gutters last couple of days.
Yeah. Getting some gutters up now, huh?
Yeah, I mean.
It's just monsoon. Dude, it's crazy because it's been that way here in Nevada, too.
Yeah, you said you had lightning and thunder yesterday.
Dude, we had lightning and thunder yesterday, and then... yeah, there's a fly in here. It's bugging me. So, was
you watching
right here.
Outside there?
Dude, so they have Burning Man here in
Dude, I've seen some pictures
Fallon.
of that. Dude.
So, for the listeners, if you don't know, you should go on a Burning Man on the Google search.
Holy cow.
And that place. So what happened, too, was earlier... It had gotten, so they go out early to do like setup.
Right. Now this is out in the middle of the desert. It's
called the Black Rock Desert. It's huge. It's massive.
Dirt, right?
Nothing grows on it. It's alkali flat.
Right.
What we call alkali flat. It's just, zero life on this thing.
Zero vegetation.
Right? Yeah. At all. There ain't bugs on there either.
Really?
I mean, there's nothing for them. You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking miles upon miles wide and miles upon. They moved Burning Man. The city of Burning Man, when they put the city together, is in a different spot each year. That's how big it is.
Oh, okay.
And there's 75,000 people out there for Burning Man.
So Burning Man is like a modern day Woodstock, or like?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a festival is what they kind of claim it to be. So a bunch of people go out there. It's got cool art. You know, I mean, it's definitely, there's some rad stuff, but the vastness of it's huge. I mean, you're talking, it's the third largest city, or second largest city. No, third, I apologize. Third largest city in Nevada at the time.
So I think I've seen pictures of Burning Man, like they make this big, huge wood stick figure of a man.
Yeah.
And they burn it, right?
Correct. At the end, yeah.
At the end.
They have a temple, so people go and put like pictures of their, you know, or urns or whatever, this kind of whatever spiritual stuff they want to do. They do in this temple, and then that gets burned also.
Oh.
So the two main burns are like, the man burns on Saturday, they burn the temple on Sunday, and it's like, you know, whatever, if you want to go in there and
so is it just a bunch of hippies that go out there?
No, not anymore. It's like, it's people from everywhere, bro. I mean, other countries, states, all over. I mean, I'm talking all over the country, like Australia, England, you know, UK, all that stuff. They come from everywhere.
So are there bands? Are there like rock bands?
Stage? I'm not going to say, not like a rock band, as to say, good.
I think I heard the fly in your mic.
Probably. I'm going to get him right by it. Eat him.
Suck him in your mouth.
I'll do it, dude, and chew him up. Just for the listeners. So it's like you get all these people, but it's like bands. I'm not going to say necessarily a band. Let's take a moment while Vinny slams down I believe that's a fireball shot. No, that made me do it.
Fireball.
I could feel it. I could feel it in my neck right here. So, it's like bands, not so much because it does get dirty, dusty, but like techno stuff. Oh yeah, there's like techno domes out there, dude. That you go in there, and it's just like, oh, dude, it's a huge, huge dome.
Oh yeah,
there's hundreds of people in there, and it's just like lights, and it's like, and it's just ripping, dude. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, right?
And it's just like a canvas dome type thing? Or
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all, yeah. No, it's like a big mobile sports dome type thing.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just like
soccer. Like when they do those soccer.
Yeah. Sort of like that. Yeah. Except it's like big towers in there. There's speakers everywhere. It's like David Guetto or whatever would be there doing it. Test. I think it's like a dubstep guy, David Guetto or whatever his name is. I think he's been there. Tiesta, he's been there. So basically, it's like, so they get like sponsored, right? So, say for instance, I think when we went, it was Monster, like the energy drink.
Okay.
Put like basically, from what I heard, is they were like the sponsor of it. So they paid to get this dome brought out, built. Right. And then paid and had DJs go out there, paid for the tickets or whatever. I don't know if they pay.
So do you have to pay for tickets to get out there?
Oh yeah, they're like $500
to get like a little tent spot. Like you get a little.
Yeah.
You go.
No, you don't get a spot. You just pay to get there, and then you find a spot.
You just find a spot.
But they're done in blocks. So it's all done in like in a clock.
Gotcha.
So you have like. The Espionage, I think they call it, or something, is like 12 o'clock. And then it's like so it's like this three-quarter circle. And then you go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Right. That's how you know your streets. And then they go back alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Different names, but they go in alphabet. So that's how you know where you're at. You'd be like, hey, I'm at 3 o'clock. And it goes like A, it's graphed out.
Oh, geez.
So you'd be like, I'm at AA3 or whatever you want to call it or however it goes.
But I did see video today that this dude was in a Dodge, like 1500, pulling his cab trailer and just hammering to get out of where he was at.
Oh, yeah.
The steps
because it rained
on the trailer, and he was just getting it.
It probably flung out. The steps probably reopened.
That's
so what
true.
happens is you have all these people trafficking on it, and it makes what they call playa dust. So it's like baby powder.
Right.
It's super
right.
fine.
Right.
And so it'll get inches thick of just this dust. So when the wind blows and stuff, there'll just be whiteouts. Like you can't see it. The crazy thing of it is it doesn't burn your eyes or nothing because it's so fine. I mean, it gets in there and you're like, oh. But then once it's gone, you're like, whatever.
It's good.
Yeah. The stuff gets on your feet and that, like, it's not bad. I don't know. I would say, and I have fair skin and it's never even bothered me. But as soon as it rains, they shut it down. Like, if your art car is out there driving around the playa there and then it starts to rain, the rangers and everybody are out there and you got to lock it up right there. You're staying put. You can go on a bike.
Because that 4 inches of soft sand and very fine dirt just turns into silt, right? It's
slime.
Slick,
it's just like
slimy.
slime. Yep.
Yeah.
So your art cars will drive around and get stuck, or else they're just rutting everything out.
Right.
So they're worried about you messing up the playa. You can't even pee on it, dude. They will fine you for peeing on the playa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whip a wiener out. Somebody comes around the light, hits it. They'll write you a ticket right there. The rangers, they'll get you. There's rangers all over the place out there.
Now,
Law enforcement, sheriff.
In the day, this is probably what, 10 years ago. You guys used to go out there, like the fire departments of every city, kind of in the local area. They would take turns. Like you had like a day shift, a night shift. Like you guys would go through.
So we'd go 24 on, 24 off.
Okay.
Is what we worked. So we'd get a free ticket to go do that.
To hang out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we got paid daily too, but are the shifts that you worked.
Yeah.
So, but what was cool about that is like our camp was like back. It was called 5 o'clock, so we were at 5 o'clock, but we were at the very end of the whole city.
Yeah.
And nobody could camp in front of us within like 100 yards or whatever it was.
Oh, good.
Because we needed access.
Like going.
Correct. And the airport was right next to us. But so we didn't have to deal with all that playa getting all broke up. We had that crust on there. And then we had those big diesel generator. And then we'd run those power packs off it and plug all of our trailers in so it was quiet. But you could still, like, 2 in the morning be laying there and just hear that techno dome just boom, 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 just going until like 4 in the morning or whatever. Did you come out of a techno dome and that's how your heart would be beating? My heart was just beating that way, dude. It was bumping. I mean, it's insane, dude. Just like going to a techno concert, but there's just thousands of people and they're just raging, dude. They had the cool thing that I thought was super cool, and I went and did it. Was the Thunderdome? You remember the Thunderdome with Mel Gibson?
Yes.
Like Mad Max.
Okay.
They have one.
So what do you do in that?
This huge. Oh, dude, they strap you to the bands. They got bungees in there, and they put you with these Nerf bats and stuff, and they bounce you back and sling you at each other, and
Dude,
you just bash.
I've seen it. I didn't know it was an actual like fight.
Oh yeah, people are all around the dome. They're hanging on it, cheering for you and stuff. Oh, it's wicked, dude. It's so fun. So there's that stuff. There's huge art stuff that people build, but this one. They had to shut them. They didn't let them go out. They usually go out. I think they get to go like a week or two before it even starts.
Okay.
And so they set up. They go out and set up.
Like this Friday?
Yeah.
This last Friday?
It started last week. So on the weekend.
The week before Labor Day.
Yep. Because
Okay.
it ended, supposed to be ending today.
On Labor Day.
People would start leaving basically. A lot of people leave after the burn. Saturday, they go leave Saturday night, Sunday, and then, but yeah. So I guess they're supposed to be burning the man tonight, supposedly.
But it's Monday.
It got postponed because of the rain.
Oh, okay.
The rain effed everybody up, dude. Like
how far away is that from Fallon?
Not having Burning Man traffic, it's a couple hours.
Wow.
3 hours maybe.
So it's about 150 miles from where you're at?
No, it's probably a little longer than that. That'd be only 50 miles an hour. So it's probably, I mean, I've hunted coyote out past it. So I've done that in a day. So it's not that. I'll bet you get there pulling the trailer. And
3
it's
hours.
probably 150 miles, 200 miles maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 200 plus, 220.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, it's about that. Those little ways.
Dang, dude. And then
It's off the hizzy, dude. There's
when
some
you go
cool
out there,
stuff.
like they've got porta potties. They've got food vendors.
Thousands of them.
They've got
Nope. It's all barter system. The only things you can buy are ice and water.
That's the only thing you can buy, or that's the only thing that's there to buy. Because
That's
you
the
and I
only thing
talked about me taking the ice cream truck out there once, like
Oh.
back in the day. It was a long time ago. Excuse you, but
So you would use that as a barter. Like you would take the ice cream truck and like you would have it set up,
okay.
and then people would come by and be like, "Oh, hey man, I got this, I don't know, medallion, or I got this thing I made. Can I have some ice cream?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, here," and then they would give you something in return.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like people handcraft stuff, they make stuff. You know, you got to be careful. Some people ride by on their bikes and they got like squirt bottles because it's hot. But you got to be careful with that because they might have acid in it. And so they're riding by and they're like, and you're like, oh, whoa. You know, so you don't let people like spray you and stuff because it could be.
No, we're talking like acid, like battery acid, or are we talking
no,
like acid,
tripping, like tripping out acid. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Like party acid.
Party?
Yeah, dude.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Holy
So you
cow.
don't. So basically, there's safe camps that you go to. So you like the drinks aren't spiked or laced or, you know, whatever, that kind of legal stuff like that you have to deal with when you get back. We have a form, because we're there on fire.
Right.
So we have a form that we come if we get hit with something, you know, or whatever, and that shows some in like we get drug tested or something. We have a form that we have filled out that you know basically if it comes down to it, you have witnesses that are there and they're like, oh yeah, this dude rode by on his bike and hit Hessey in the face with this squirt bottle and he started tripping balls, you know. So it's like he wasn't over there just like putting acid under his tongue and just tripping, because there are some of those, dude. We've been driving through the playa and it's like you're way out yonder and there's probably, you say, an acre of nothing.
Okay.
And there's just this dude sitting in the middle of it, just like looking
talking to freaking ghosts.
No, he ain't talking, dude. He's just looking into the sky.
He sees Skywalker.
Yeah, dude. And you're driving by and you're like, hey, what's up? And he's just, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Sunburned? Do you guys have to do anything
He's
as a
just
fire?
sitting there.
Like, is it?
No, they have medical running around all over.
Yeah.
A lot of it, medical is doing is like dehydration and stuff like that, you know. I mean, it's just because it does, like, general speaking, it gets super hot and dry.
Okay.
And so, and then you're partying. There's a lot of drinking and stuff.
So instead of taking the ice
drugs,
cream truck out for ice cream, I need to fill it up with water bottles and ice bags. Or do you have to be like a certain vendor?
no,
like
you got to be a vendor. Yeah, they have certain areas that have ice and water for sale.
Mm.
You just do it, dude. Like we had all the girls throughout the year. The wine drinkers would do wine. They do the wine caps or corks or whatever.
Okay.
You know, wine corks.
Yeah. Wine corks.
So they would pull them out and they'd keep them.
Okay.
So our whole crew that was going out there that did the fire and all that stuff would just save those. And then the girls took like the kids would either like put a little Burning Man thing on there and then like Camp 5 or Fire 5 is what we were.
Okay, so a little arts and crafts.
They would just do our thing, like, or take like a soldering gun thing, you know, the heated in, not soldering gun, but like a wood burner.
All right, right.
And just put a little Burning Man symbol and put a string through it, or
so
like a glow in the dark, like something glow in the dark or something. And people would come up and be like, "Yo, man, I got this," and they'd give you a coin or a chip, or some people have shirts that they have had made, and so we're rolling around the art car, and they'll jump on it and be like, "Hey, I got this shirt," and we'll be like, oh, "Okay, cool, you can stay on," because if not, we're kicking them off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want a ton of people.
So they basically give you a shirt for a ride?
Well, or they're just that's kind of, sometimes they would use that, be like, "Hey, man, I got this. Like, you guys want it? Can I get a ride?" And you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Other times they would try to get on and we're like, "Now you're a dude, get out of here," and you just let chicks on. So then we just have a 27-foot art car full of chicks, you know.
What's an art cart?
Art car, ARTCAR. So you actually have to get it licensed through they call it the DMV, which is the domestic mutant vehicle or something like domesticated mutant vehicle.
So it could be any car. It's
Well,
not
it
like
has
a
to be-
golf cart.
Could be a golf cart, but it's got to be. There's like a theme. They do like a theme for Burning Man, and so you
Right.
have to kind of relate it to the theme or something of that similarity. But you have to send all your permit. You have to send it in pictures, what it's going to look like, what your lighting looks like, you know, all that different stuff, and then they'll send you back the paperwork and a sticker.
So, right here in this part of our video, can you post a couple pictures of what an art car would look like?
I think I have some of the art car that we built. We
You
built
built
an art
it?
car. Oh yeah,
You built it with what?
dude, with the motorhome from Mom and Dad.
That's where I was getting. I was trying to
I
pull
know.
you into that. I was
He
trying
got
to,
me.
I was
He
trying
got
to
me. He
walk you
suckered me
that.
into it.
I said-
Walked me right into it. Smooth. That's good. You're getting better at podcasting. I like it. So Mom and Dad had a 27-foot 73 Dodge
Dude,
motorhome.
it was completely an Uncle Eddie car. Or
It was
Uncle
baby
Eddie
blue.
motorhome.
It was baby blue, dude. Like North Carolina blue. That kind of blue.
Dude, Cousin Eddie off
Two-tone.
a freaking vacation.
Two-tone, though. One was a
Dude.
little darker. One was a little lighter. Remember that it had on the door, it had the circle glass.
Yeah, it had
like
the
a
port
submarine.
window.
We kept it. So for people listening, picture this. A perfectly functioning 73 motorhome, 27-foot Dodge, flat phrased.
That we
Had
used
all-
to use
had
as
carpet,
kids in motorhome.
bathroom, plumbing, everything
Yeah.
worked. Everything was good.
Our
We
motorhome.
we rebuilt that motor. We put custom wheels on it. Had dualies in the back, singles in the front.
Aluminum
so-
wheels.
Yeah, aluminum. They were pimping. So we all pitched in, bought it. 3 of us came to Utah, picked it up, drove that pig 8 hours. Well, it took 10 or 11.
But it still
Back.
made it.
We
Come
drove
on.
it back, dude. It just kept sucking gas. Put more gas in her, off we went. Put more gas in it, off we went. So we brought that back and gutted it out. I mean, we tore everything out
So-
of this thing.
Can we do a little timeout right here real quick?
Yeah.
Just a short story on the motorhome. Like
Let's
we
hear it.
went, like I was probably senior in high school. Mom and Dad, we took that motorhome to Colorado.
Yeah.
And
I remember this.
Yeah, and then on the way back in Junction, Colorado, the transmission went out. It had first gear. That was all
Yeah.
it had. So we took it to a mechanic shop, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just, it's like I don't even remember, $3-4 grand or whatever to put a new tranny in." So they gave us a loaner. It was like an old, '89 Ford Taurus or whatever it was. So we
Yeah, did
drove.
they give us a loaner or do we have to rent one?
I'm not sure if it was loaner or rent.
Okay.
I don't remember at the time. But we drove that thing all the way home. I had to go to, here we go, nerd alert, yearbook camp. So we got back to Utah.
Dude, we should have came up with something else, dude. Like your
What
senior
do you want me to say?
trip.
Tennis camp? I
We
mean,
had a
it's either
senior
tennis camp.
trip. We had a senior
Yeah.
trip to Vegas.
It was
I
in the
don't know,
summer, so
something.
we went to yearbook camp up in Park City. Dude, don't get me wrong, dude. Park City was a bomb. It was
Yeah,
cool.
especially
I
with
mean,
a bunch of yearbookers.
yeah, plus you go up there with a bunch of girls and you're just hanging out in a hotel room. Like, you got the
Yeah.
whole place to yourself. It was all right. But
That's
anyway,
cool.
so we come back for
That's why I
that.
joined
and then
choir.
Dad called the guy that does that was supposed to be working on the tram. They're like, we haven't even gotten to it yet, whatever. And he said, stop. So they drove the van, which is now the ice cream truck, back.
Yeah.
And they hooked up the motorhome on a tow deal.
Well, we got it. You didn't go with us on this trip.
I was at yearbook camp.
Yeah,
So-
so you were geeking out at yearbook camp.
Yeah.
Kevin and I, they're like, all right, we're going back to Grand Junction.
With the
And
freaking
we had the Econoline
1978 Ford
van.
Econoline.
Yeah, and then we rented. So the thing that we rented was a bumper pull, a tow bumper. So basically, it attached to the bumper in the front, and then you dropped it on the hitch on your
On the
rig,
van.
and it
Right.
was solid. It was just like it made whatever you were pulling just like a utility trailer or a camp trailer. So then I remember we pulled this. I remember this. We're like, okay, here we go. We get this motorhome all done up. We get the lights all hooked up to this thing, and we start pulling it out of the parking lot. And we go straight down the street, and then you have to hang a left at the light. Right. And I remember there being I'm pretty sure it was like a Chevron or a gas station up on the corner, but it had like a little sidewall, because it was up. It's like a little 3-foot paver wall.
Yeah.
And we start making the left-hand turn, and it ain't turning. It's just that motorhome is so big, it's just pushing the van forward.
Yeah.
So Dad's hitting the brakes, and it's just going, and we're just sliding towards this wall, and this motorhome don't want to stop because you don't have brakes.
Right. It's just a neutral, right?
It's just a neutral. And you're just hoping the tires, they're kind of turning with you, but they're not because you're not putting enough pressure to turn this thing, and you can't have anybody in it. I think that's illegal, is why we didn't have anybody sitting in the motorhome steering this thing, right? So it's like slowly making this turn, but it's just like skidding us into it. And we barely make the turn, and then we pull into the parking lot. So we made it 0.2 miles probably at most.
Block and a half.
Yeah, block and a half, dude. And then it's like, this ain't going to work. And so it's like, now what? He's like, we'll just drive it home. Undo everything we just did.
Right.
Throw the hitch in the motorhome. And Dad says, I'll drive it. You guys go in the van. Kevin bails in with Dad because I'm pretty sure he just went to sleep. And Mom and I sat in the van behind the motorhome driving, and wasn't so bad.
Hazard.
Not so bad during the day because we were cruising and it was daytime.
But
so
the
the
motorhome could only go to first gear, which is
the motorhome is in first gear, maybe, and you're wrapping that thing out, bro. So here's the motorhome, and we're just Dad's cruising in it. Mom and I are in the back. Dude, we're listening to cassette tapes. Like I had my little thing of cassette tapes. So we're doing that, and then dark hits. Yeah. Then nighttime hits, and we've gone 3 miles, and nighttime hits. So, dude, then the flashers are on.
Right.
And so Mom's just like getting mesmerized, dude. Like soon all of a sudden she's just like zombie and this is apocalypse, dude. You look over and she's just like
269 miles in first gear.
Yeah. Divide that by 20 miles an hour. Because then you got to hit them hills.
Oh, yeah.
That thing just shits the bed.
Oh, yeah.
So divide what's averaging 20.
Averaging
by what?
20
How
miles
many miles?
an hour?
20 miles an hour.
20 miles an hour at 269, right? That's 5,386. Divide that by 60. It's like 89 hours.
No way, dude. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's 256 miles and divided by
269 miles an hour.
269 divided by 20.
Divided by 20?
Yeah, because you're doing 20 miles an hour.
All right. 13.45.
So it's 14 hours to drive that. 269 miles.
It says 3 hours and 15 minutes on Google Maps.
Dude, 14. And then night hit, and then you hit those hills, and we're doing 7, 10.
Right.
If you're lucky. And it's like, finally, like nighttime, however long, Mom is just like pudding, dude, because just flashers the whole time in the dark.
She's following
because we're following. Yeah.
Right.
We're right behind, dude. It was mad.
So it's just it's just a hypnotist, right?
Oh
there.
yeah,
She's just her eyes are probably blinking with every light flash.
Oh yeah, and then you think it's not so bad because you're only doing 20 miles an hour, but it is when you're like, I'm just gonna close my eyes so I don't have to see the flash, and it's like your eyes are closed for like 30 seconds, dude.
But hey, the good thing is you guys could pull over. You had the motorhome. Sleep in the motorhome, keep going, whatever.
We did. I think we had to be back a certain time, though, to pick you up or something. I don't know.
I have no idea.
They probably didn't want you home by yourself because they knew what you were going to do.
Wow.
I'm just throwing.
I was a
it out
good
there.
kid at that time.
He was, yeah.
I was
he
still.
was.
I was still.
I mean,
a good kid.
he went to yearbook camp, people. Of course he was, dude. So that same motorhome turned into an art car that had a stripper pole in the middle, a bar built off the back with 2 stripper poles on the backside.
So like you cut the back out, and I think you turned the back end of it into.
So we took where the back, we cut the sides out and made like big windows,
right,
like big visual things, and in the back we did the same. They had that big window, and we took that out,
right,
and then we built a bar like a deck.
Okay.
That sat down off from the bumper. It was attached to the frame.
Okay.
So it was all decked out and had bar stools, like 4 bar stools on it.
Nice.
And then like a wooden bar. And then on the side, that held the roof on it. Because the first time we did it, we made it a firehouse. So it had like the brick, that fake brick.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the little 1/2-inch stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
All that fake brick on it. And then we put a tin roof on it, around it. And then I painted flames on it, and we put lights, like rope lights.
Okay.
LED rope lights that you could bend them. And then I painted fire in between them. So then we had that bar off the back, and it had, brass poles on it.
So with the bar and the stripper poles, you guys are you're packing freaking like alcohol is what you're doing? You're like making shots, or what are you guys doing?
Oh yeah, whatever. Body shots.
Were you bartering
shots.
that? Or
Huh?
was that just for you guys?
Well, whoever got on, so we had this wheel, right? That sat. So we kept that door because it had that cool circle window.
Yeah, the port
and
window.
Then the port window, and then I wired up a stereo in it, so it had a subwoofer, 1,000-watt amp, 4 wakeboard speakers inside there, 2 in the back facing out, 2 facing into the thing. We put lights inside there. Randomly just stuck pictures all over it, and then we made bench seats all the way around it.
Okay.
And they sewed padding, and it was all like different colored and leopard print and this, that, and the other.
Wow.
And then it had the driver, and it had a captain seat. We still kept that captain seat up there just so you could have a spotter. So you had like 2 sober people all the time, one driving, one spotting, so that people weren't getting out in front of you and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And so if you got on and you were female, then you would spin the wheel, and it spun around, dude, and it was like it had all these different things that went on that some would not be proud of, but this is back in the day, so we've grown up since then, I feel like.
You've
matured it out. Yeah, well, I quit going to Burning Man, so there you go. But yeah, so it just had different things you had to do, and so if you did them, then you stayed on and partied on the bus.
Okay.
If you didn't, then later.
Get off.
So because the people that were on there that came from our camp were having a good time and just carrying on doing their thing.
And these were on your off days. You guys drove.
Yeah, these are on off days, correct. Yeah.
Right.
So, but also some people out there aren't. They're out there just like they might be rolling, speedballs or cocaine or the drugs. Everybody thinks, oh, you go out there and it's just a bunch of drugs. I could tell you, it's not easy to get them. Like I just didn't randomly get drugs thrown at me, and I went multiple years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to go look for them. Like if you want them, or you bring your own, because it is illegal. Like if they search your rig and they find you got a pound of shrooms, like you're gonna get arrested. You know what I mean? Granted, like it's not like super crazy because there's so many people. They're just kind of moving them through, but it's just not like it's just not out there in an abundance that you know of. You know what I mean? It's pretty well on the low. So some people would get on and they're not really into that. They're not into drinking or doing shots or body shots or handstand or have to, do something cool on the fire pole or whatever it may be. They weren't into that, so they would be like, "No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that." And it's like, okay, well, that's what they're doing on this party bus or whatever you want to call it. So,
But then, this year, they shut it down. It's wet. It's muddy.
So as soon as it rains, that art car, one of the years we were out there and it rained, and they put it to a halt. Like we had to just stop. You just stop, put it in gear, and turn it off. And that's it. You just wait. There's art cars everywhere, people everywhere, but you can walk and do that. So you kind of just walk around to each art car and just see what's going on, and kind of just, now it's just like a block party. You know what I mean? And so you have to wait. And it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. And then it like dries up because, it was middle of the afternoon. It wasn't dark.
Right.
So it rained during, like you said, that midday rain or whatever, 2 o'clock or whatever it was.
Right.
So you still had the 4 or 5 hours before it even got dark, and it soaks in, dries up. They check, make sure it's not soupy and gross and all this stuff, and then it's like, all right, let's go. And then everybody starts driving again. But this one, they shut them down. They didn't even let them go in early, like the guys that build all the big art stuff.
Right.
They were postponed a couple of days because it rained. Then everybody got out there, and then that rainstorm hit a couple of days again. It just locked everybody up. So they were telling everybody. Go ahead.
Well, the video I saw today, people were wearing those 1 gallon Ziploc
bags.
Yeah, they were putting them on their feet. They were walking.
So I wouldn't have done that. I would have just gone barefoot. You might as well not even waste it, dude. Just go out there, put shorts on so your pants don't get gross.
Right.
And a shirt, maybe. If it's too cold, throw a t-shirt on or long sleeve. But if you're walking in it, dude, it's pointless to even do that bag stuff, because you're gonna eventually tear through it anyway. It's gonna ruin your. It's a mess, bro.
Well, it's gonna stick in the mud. You lift your foot up, it's gonna stick in there, and then you're just gonna litter. You're gonna be like, screw it and just leave it. So you're gonna have
so that's the problem you're gonna look at now is when everybody leaves, that desert's probably gonna be a trash pit.
So do they have a company, or do they have
they have a crew? The whole Burning Man crew rolls out and goes through and cleans everything up. They make it to where you can't even tell Burning Man was there. They do a good job at that. The only problem is that's back when everybody was packing all their stuff up and leaving normal, right?
Okay.
Well, that ain't this time. Dude, people were going to the highway and hitchhiking. Like the ones that came in with their friends or whatever, or they left the rigs there and are hitchhiking home. And I'm they'll probably eventually go back and get their car at some point.
Dude.
But some of those places, some of them are so packed in, like in close into camp, that if these people don't move, you don't move. So
gotcha.
Some of that stuff's going to get moved in, like tow truck hooked and drag out of the way. May still be sitting there, but I'm sure they just drag it out of the way and leave it.
Wow.
But some of them, they said they'll be the last ones to get to are the guys that try to sneak out and go like the other way, like the back way, and got stuck, like buried. Their motorhomes and U-Hauls and Jeeps and all this stuff are buried to the axle, and they're like, you guys will be last to be helped.
Because they didn't go out the main entrance.
Right, and they were trying to get out while it was still raining and when nobody should be moving. Because even the people were like putting it out there and announcing and stuff, and were like, hey, don't conserve your water, conserve your food. Like, you might have to stay a few days, 2-3 days longer, depending on the rain. So they're like, start backing off your stuff. So because a lot of people just go out there, plan on being there for 3-4 days, and they're going to leave, and then all of a sudden you're there 6 days. I mean, you're going to start running low on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to start selling stuff, your hands, mouth. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know, whatever it takes, dude, to get you some. They were giving out water and stuff, like the Burning Man.
Like FEMA showed up. And
yeah, dude. Something like it was a mess, bro. I know, dude. I know when I saw like the pictures of it, so I was like, oh my gosh. Because even for us, like that art car, you had to change it every year, add stuff to it, or put fur on it, cover the tires, whatever they had you do. You had to change different stuff for it. So it couldn't just be the same thing.
Different themes for each year.
Yeah.
So the leopard stuff didn't really hold up every year.
No, like we kept the side wall, like the brick stuff on there, but then like at one point we had like this little, almost not, it was metal, but it was like one of them old school like little go-karts. It looked like it looked like that Fiat that you have, but it was like in the front, and then it was like this, so it looked like they made it look like this vehicle running into another one.
Oh, geez.
And then that was covering that's where the generator was in the front there.
Oh, okay.
So they made this little green car, and it was like I think it was the Alien type deal or something. So they put an alien in it, and that whole thing. And so that was one of the years that they did it.
So you guys haven't been called out on your, through your fire department or anything like that to go out there and save anybody or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've been called out in the middle of the night and gone out and like somebody's refrigerator in their trailer caught fire, or a fire in the trailer.
3 hours in the fire truck to go put it out from Fallon, or you mean while you were there?
Oh no, while at Burning Man, yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Sorry,
because we're at camp. We're set up at camp.
There,
we run 24 hours, but it's not in Churchill. It's in a different county.
I see.
Yep.
So when it's in the county, then you guys.
So
go
we
out.
didn't go. We didn't go as Fallon Fire. We went as firemen for the lady that had the contract to be the fire entity out there.
I gotcha.
So she would ask, like, some of the guys, the like our chief at the time and some of the captains had been doing it prior.
Right.
And so she just comes in and says, "Hey, you guys got guys who want to go to Burning Man?" And so it was kind of a first come first serve. So like I was like, "Yeah, I'm in," and I was friends with them, and so they're like, "Okay, well Hessey's in," and then a couple other guys, and then like, "All right, we're not taking anymore." So then other guys would wait and be like, you basically, once you got in, you would go every year, unless you were like, "Oh, I can't make it this year," then somebody else would get that.
Somebody was
spot.
on the list. Like,
They
I
were
want
on
to go
the
next.
list.
Like,
Yeah.
if somebody fails, I'm going.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's paid for, and you get paid to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you don't sleep for days, but yeah, it's nuts, dude. Just sitting at camp with a big old spot and scope.
Wow.
Just checking, just looking, spotting for fires is what you're doing.
Spotting for fires, I'll bet. Yeah. Yeah. Some of those double D fires out there.
Oh, yeah, dude. I got a story, though. You want to hear one before we move on?
Let's
Burning
go.
Man story.
Burning Man story.
Sitting at camp. I mean, there's tons of stories, but this is a good one. I got a spotting scope, and I'm sitting at camp. And so, you know how they're just like magnified 10 times more than like binos. So the other guys already got binos. Some of them got them like on tripods and stuff. So I'm looking through this spotting scope, and I tell Matt, he's on the fire department, he's sitting there. I don't know if Matt listens, but shout out Matt. He'll know who it is, which Matt I'm talking about. So he's sitting there, and he's got binos. So I'm panning across, and I look, because the tenters will be out there, like they'll strip down naked and like water bottle or jug.
Okay.
Like just like rinse themselves down.
A little shower.
Because
right?
when we used to pull out in the fire truck, we had like a big tender.
Yeah.
That was set up with a monitor and a sprayer, like spray. It had a hose attached.
Okay.
A hose reel is what they call it. So when we would pull out and go to like sit and watch like the man, once they started loading pyrotechnics, we had to have somebody on call there all the time.
Okay.
So we'd rotate. But as soon as we were driving down the road, dude, just naked people would come running out of everywhere.
Just hose them down.
Because they would think we were a water truck. Because when the water truck comes by, they would run out and just get blasted with the water and take a good rinsing.
So do they do a water truck to keep the dust down?
Keep
like
the dust down on the roads.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea. So this is like what the people, I mean, they're tent camping, and they don't have showers or nothing like that. So here's long, dark hair, dude, tramp stamp on her back, just dark skin, olive colored skin, you know, and there's like, I mean, tight little body. And I'm like, oh. And so I pan over and I'm looking through there, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Matt. He's like, what's up? I'm going to look at this, dude, right here. 11 o'clock, you know, this blue car over to the left. And he's like, so he starts looking. He's like, oh, yeah. And she's out there. She is out there hosing herself down, water bottling it. And he's just like, oh, yeah, look at that one. Oh, man, she's totally naked. And I look at all the other guys, and I'm like, that's a dude. And then, dude, Matt's just sitting there, and all of a sudden he turns around, and it's just whang, dude. And he's like, oh, my gosh. He's all, good Lord. And so everybody just laughs at him because everybody knew it was a dude except for Matt. And so yeah, it was a good time.
That's a good shocker right there.
Oh, yeah. Hello. So, yeah, I'll post that art car on there and look at it, but. All right, so we'll move on. But yeah, Burning Man, still kind of people still out there, stuck out there. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully some of you are listening. I wish I could have went out there and just handed out stickers. You know what I mean?
Flapping your gum
Flapping
stickers.
your gum stickers.
That'd be good. Especially if they're just sitting there in their tents because they can't go anywhere where it's raining. To give them something to listen to.
Nah, they all still go out and hump around, but they can only walk. Some people you see just carrying their bikes. You can't even bike anymore because your tire's like 10 times too big.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's our episode, dude. Burning Man episode today. Since I figured might as well, since it was like it's like the biggest thing that happens. I believe like on the West Coast, as in like that kind of festival thing.
And it happens every year.
Every year, man. Every year. Third largest city goes Vegas, Reno, Burning Man. When Burning
Man's only for a week and a half at the most.
Yeah, that's about it. So you get 75. That's how many people are tracked in there. I feel like there's more, but still 75,000 people going out
just
to
pop up in a week,
just in a desert.
That's insane.
They fly in, buy stuff, buy like their tents, buy their sleeping bags, buy all that stuff. Go out there on like in a U-Haul, camp. Then they take all that stuff back and throw it in a dumpster behind like Walmart or Target or whatever. The dumpsters right now, if you went into Reno, all those big roll-offs and all that stuff will be plumb full of bikes,
brand new bike,
and brand new camping stuff.
Yeah. Wow,
it's nuts.
I need some camping stuff.
Huh?
I said I need some camping stuff.
Dude, I don't know. You just don't know what happened in that sleeping bag or in that tent.
Bleach.
Dude, I remember one year there was an anal fisting camp. If that gives you any idea.
I don't want to talk. No.
Dude, so we went to it like, oh, that's cool. Let's go check it out. And it was like professional, dude, like doctors. No. And they're like, this is like a 3-hour course, 4-hour course. And they're like, what? It was legit, dude. Like they were going to teach them how to do these things.
No.
And I'm just like, well, we're out later. Females only. Dudes couldn't be around. The girls are like, well, I ain't. No way. I'm out of here. But it was like we just wanted to see, you know. But
that's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, so there we go. We wanted to do an episode on kind of the event going on. That's a huge event, I feel like. It's crazy what they've had to go through. So hopefully the ones listening that went, let's hear it. And if you're listening and you did go, I know a couple people that went, you know, from Fallon that go and got out, luckily, before they re-shut down, because I feel like there might be some rain coming again. But yeah, so we just want to do an episode on that one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the Burning Man stories, some motorhome stories.
Here's some of your Burning Man stories.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you've gone, let us know.
Gone on?
A lot, dude, because I quit going probably 10 years ago, 11 years ago or something. And I went four times before that. So
put your comments in there on your Burning Man story. Go to flappingyourgums at yahoo.com and comment on your Burning Man story. Or if you have something similar in your area that you do.
Yeah, some sort of party festival thing or whatever. Yeah,
let's hear about it.
All right, hit us up. All right, man. That was great. Hope everyone enjoyed that one, but
that was good.
Look it up, and you'll see it's nuts. All right, bro. Good one.
All right, buddy.
Peace. I did not know we were going to go into Burning Man like that.